Finding the best deal on a new GE appliance or microwave can take a long time. Until now, because this Saturday at Best Buy Company Superstores, every microwave and appliance in stock is on sale. For just 15 hours from 9 a.m. to midnight, we're discounting every washer, dryer, refrigerator, freezer, dishwasher, range, air conditioner, and microwave oven by GE and other top manufacturers. Look for the ad in your Friday paper. But remember, you only have 15 hours until Best Buy Company's major appliance sale is all gone.
Well, I've been on and off diet since the age of 14. Until I found something that stops me from craving all those foods I know I shouldn't have. Why, Dexatrim even helps keep me away from chocolate chip ice cream. And I love chocolate chip ice cream. But you know what I love even more? Looking in the mirror and seeing the new me.
Dexatrim people, they not only try to lose weight, they succeed.
Spectacular. This is spectacular. We have debris thousands of feet in the air. There are flash fires on all the high-tension wires. We're about 3/4 of a mile from the actual touchdown at this time. This is really spectacular.
And for many who saw the tornado approach them, it was a nightmare that came to life. Complete coverage on this special edition of News 11.
Now, from the action center of the Twin Cities, News 11 with Paul Majors, Diana Pierce, Tom Ryther on sports, and meteorologist Paul Douglas.
Good evening. Nature's nightmare hits the northern Twin Cities suburbs.
A series of twisters swept the area, leaving behind a path of destruction.
And our Sky 11 helicopter brought you the first pictures of the tornadoes live during News 11 at 5. The bird's eye view of the tornado.
At University and
78th in Spring Lake Park. Finally, at 5:23 p.m., the tornado lifted off and left the area. And then, 10 minutes after liftoff, there was yet another very brief touchdown, this one in Blaine.
The latest information we have is that 8 occupied homes were damaged. Some vacant homes were also hit.
Dennis Stoffer is in the area affected right now. He has a live report for us from Brooklyn Park. Dennis?
Paul, Diana, I'm near 87th and Noble in Brooklyn Park at a new housing development known as the Highlands of Edinburgh. It was in this general area that the tornado first hit, as you said. And you can see from this overturned pickup truck behind me that it hit with considerable force. Witnesses say it was a storm that snuck up on them.
We didn't hear anything. All we saw was the wind start picking up. Sand was hitting us in the eye. We looked over and saw a big wind tunnel, so to speak. Was taking all the dirt from the ground. Debris was flying every which way.
Houses here range in value from $170,000 to $300,000. 11 of them were damaged. 8 of them occupied, the rest still under construction. The storm broke windows, blew off roofs, and turned walls into kindling. But its path was so narrow that many people stood and looked on as it passed by.
We actually watched it take up this house. I got pictures of it taking up Cellutex and siding and 2x4s, and I don't know, you know, it was just happening so fast.
My 5th grader was shaking. He was really scared. I sent him to the basement, but then it was too late. It was all over because it was so fast.
Now, I spoke with one of the builders who's developing this area, and he estimates the damage at least $250,000 just for the homes right around here. The police have cordoned off the area. They're letting people in and out only that have passes. They're concerned about looting, but so far they say they've had no problems. Paul, Diana?
All right, Dennis, thank you very much. There was also damage on the east side of the Mississippi River. Kevin McDowell has a report on that.
We had called the neighbors from our folks' house, and they had told us that all of our trees were gone. The house was still standing. So when we came home and saw, how much of the trees were gone and stuff, it was kind of a shock.
Next door, George Marvin was home, and he watched as the winds tossed this huge aspen into his pool.
It just scared the hell out of me. It was, I've never been through anything like that.
Further down the road, uprooted trees slammed into this garage. Now, 6 blocks east of where we're standing sits the 130-acre Springbrook Nature Preserve. There wasn't an acre left untouched by this tornado. Acres and acres of aspen split in two. And one of the employees hid in the main building's basement and describes what she heard.
We started hearing loud noises. We started hearing like a battering ram was something was pounding at our windows, and it sounded like something was coming in, and the doors were opening and shutting, and this went on for about 10 minutes, and then it was completely silent.
And that was Kevin McDowell reporting from Coon Rapids. The intense heat just prior to the storm caused 2 freeways to blow up tonight. The worst was at Interstate 35E at Little Canada Road. The entire southbound roadway was impassable, and highway patrolmen had to redirect traffic onto the shoulders of the road. No motorists were injured when the highway buckled. At a second road, moments later, buckled in Burnsville. Interstate 35W near Buck Hill Road was only partially blocked. No accidents were reported. Between 800 and 1,000 homes are without power tonight, and NSP is saying it may be morning before power is restored in some neighborhoods. Crews are working tonight in Brooklyn Park, Coon Rapids, Brooklyn Center, and parts of northern Hennepin County. Damages to lines at 85th and Zane are the primary cause. Crews will wait until morning and better skies to begin the repairs there. And Northwestern Bell reports phone lines were jammed for nearly an hour this afternoon. Folks calling others for information mostly. Only a few reports of phone outages were called in. Supervisors are checking out the complaints tonight and say they'll send repair crews out tomorrow morning after the power is back on.
At about 4:55 this evening, Sky 11 pilot Max Mesmer and photographer Tom Impey flew the helicopter right beside the twister.
And that crew joins us live for what must have been an incredible experience. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining us. First of all, congratulations. We've had hundreds of phone calls of people who watched at 5 and said it was the most spectacular footage they had seen. First of all, I'd like to know, how close was Sky 11 to that twister?
Well, I think we got as close as about a quarter mile. It was somewhat difficult to determine distance because we were focused on the actual funnel, but I think we got as close as about a quarter mile at times.
Max, there was also a lot of debris in the air. I mean, you're trying to watch the tornado, you're trying to watch the debris. All of that at once? What's going on?
Yes, I think that I was more concerned about the flying debris than I was about anything else. I decided that the tornado, the funnel cloud itself seemed rather stationary, and I figured that I could outrun it, but the debris that was lifted thousands of feet in the air by the funnel cloud gave me some reason to be concerned.
And we're seeing that footage right now once again.
Tom Impey, these are your pictures, a rare opportunity for a photographer. What was going through your mind?
It was an incredible sight. It doesn't happen very often that you can never get any pictures as marvelous as this. It was amazing to have something like that going on right in front of me.
Was that dominating your thoughts? Were you nervous?
My first thought was of my wife and child. The second thought was of the spectacular pictures.
Thanks, gentlemen.
Amazing. Max, one other question before we go away. If you can pull that camera out and get a 2-shot of both of them as we do that. Max, how fast was that tornado moving? Do you have any idea? Were you able to gauge it from your instruments?
Well, I have tracked the tornado for probably 20-25 minutes, and miraculously it didn't move more than about a quarter mile the entire time I was tracking it, and it remained in a wooded area just west of Highway 47, and what I was afraid of, that it would continue on a westerly course and cross the highway and into populated areas, but fortunately it did not move at all. It stayed within about a quarter of a mile on and off the entire 20-25 minutes.
We were all very lucky. Anyway, a job well done by both of you.
Gentlemen.
Max, your flying skills, and Tom, your photographing skills.
Well, thank you very much.
Great job.
Well, 2 Twin Cities area men are lucky to be alive tonight after a very close call with Mother Nature. News 11's Janet Mason has the story of 2 boaters struck by lightning.
What started out as a pleasant day of sailing on White Bear Lake ended in near tragedy for 2 local men. The 2 sailors were on a catamaran when they were struck by a bolt of lightning. John Nielsen, who was at the back of the boat, told doctors tonight the bolt threw him 3 feet onto the canvas deck.
I had my hand wet. Yeah, it's fine now. Before, immediately after it happened, I couldn't hardly close my arm or fist or anything, and my bicep, my forearm hurt very badly.
Nielsen's friend Dan Krause says the lightning apparently hit the water and then traveled through the boat's rudder.
Sky turned white, felt the current going through us and kind of stunned us.
Both men are listed in good condition tonight at the St. Paul Ramsey Medical Center. Neither had burns on their skin, but doctors are keeping them under observation tonight to make sure there are no internal injuries. Lightning can cause major damage to the heart and other organs. How are you feeling right now?
Lucky to be alive.
Krause and Nielsen are also lucky they survived with no apparent major injuries. Janet Mason, News 11, St. Paul.
And for anyone who needs a place to stay or assistance, the Red Cross is ready to help. The telephone number to call is 871-7676. Once again, that number is 871-7676. And we'll continue our coverage of nature's nightmare. We'll ask the question, why weren't there more warnings? Paul Douglas will tell us how the Weather Service handled the situation.
And we'll talk with witnesses who had a special frightening perspective on the twister. And we'll look back at how other communities in our area have dealt with similar horrifying blows from Mother Nature.
This special edition of News 11 will be right back.
Where can you catch the hottest sports cars in town? Only at your nearby Nissan dealer. Pulsars, 200SXs, and the legendary 300ZX. And right now we've got our biggest selection ever. So you know we've got the style and color you've always dreamed about at a price you never thought possible. So catch a Pulsar, catch a 200SX, or catch a Z if you can. They're available now at one of these Minnesota Nissan dealers.
Considering what women are into these days, it's no wonder they need more calcium in their diet. That's why there's new Kemp's yogurt. It's as smooth and creamy as any yogurt you've tasted. Even better, it's the only yogurt with 100% of your daily calcium needs in just one 6-ounce serving. And when your body is getting enough calcium, there's no telling what you can do. New Kemp's yogurt. It's not only good to eat, it's good for your body.
It's Snyder's Savings Jamboree. See how you save today at your old corner drugstore.
Find Saving Jamboree prices now on Duracell alkaline batteries, assorted sizes, just $1.49. Raid Flying Insect Killer, Ant and Roach Killer, or Deep Woods Aerosol or Pump, only $2.39. Planters Dry Roast Peanuts, regular or unsalted, now only $1.69. Don't miss big Saving Jamboree savings in every department.
Snyder's, the old corner drugstore for today.
Need to see a doctor now? At ReadyCare, you can see a doctor and usually get taken care of in about 45 minutes. 24 hours a day. The doctors are waiting for you at ReadyCare.
Continuing our coverage now of nature's nightmare, the twisters that plague the communities this evening.
Cleanup has already begun in many suburbs, as you heard Dennis Stoffer report, after at least 2 tornadoes touched down in Brooklyn Park and eastward. We're showing you the pictures we captured again to remind us all of nature's fury, a fury that's left several thousand people without power and others wondering how to deal with the damage. Amazing looking stuff. Many people are wondering tonight why there weren't more warnings and why the storm could be seen before the sirens were sounded.
Paul Douglas joins us right now with that story. Paul, what happened?
Diana, Paul, it was a situation very reminiscent of the St. Anthony tornado a couple of years ago. Frankly, any moron can look at a radar screen and if there's a tornado in Buffalo, project eastward where it's going to be and when it's going to be. In this case, the tornado developed right over Brooklyn Park, meaning there was very little chance for warning. In fairness, we did issue a special statement at about 2 o'clock mentioning that there was a watch in effect for the western metro, and in and near the watch area there was a potential for damaging winds and even a few small tornadoes. But tornadoes are extremely fickle. In fairness to the Weather Service, you cannot predict a tornado ahead of time. Even with Doppler and all the fancy toys we have, it's pretty much a knee-jerk reaction. When spotters, Skywarn spotters, actually see a tornado, then they issue the warning. But it was a very dangerous situation this afternoon. It could have been a lot worse. This is what it looked like. At about 5 o'clock, we went on the air first, officially at about 8 minutes before 5 o'clock, after hearing reports on a police scanner in the newsroom, and we prefaced it as being an unconfirmed report of a tornado near Brooklyn Park. And then the Weather Service came on with a warning, an official warning, about 2 to 3 minutes later. You can see the classic hook shape to the tornado, and at the end of that arrow, right over Fridley, as you can see, that is where the tornado actually touched down. This is what Doppler looked like at the height of the storm right around 5 o'clock this afternoon. Which brings up a couple of interesting questions. Are tornadoes becoming more common in the Twin Cities? And where is the most likely area for tornadoes in the Twin Cities metro area? You may be interested in this. These are all the tornado touchdowns since 1959. That yellow circle is today's touchdown in Brooklyn Park. These are the years. You can see the 65 outbreak in Fridley, the 84 tornado which hit up in St. Anthony, and these are the path lengths. Now, it looks rather confusing, but if you look at this statistically and ask yourself, where is the greatest chance of being hit by a tornado, an interesting pattern emerges. There does seem to be a local tornado alley running across central Carver, central Hennepin, into parts of southern Anoka and northwestern Ramsey County. For some strange, bizarre, and frankly unexplained reason, there is a higher frequency of tornadoes in this corridor, and we just can't really figure out why. So again, why wasn't there more warning? Well, as it turns out, there was a watch for the western metro, but tornadoes are just flukes of nature. They're too small and too brief to predict individually, and it was, quite frankly, a knee-jerk reaction. I'm only very, very happy, Paul and Diana, that the tornado hit a relatively unpopulated area of land. That is a miracle.
We're all thankful for that. Thank you.
Thanks, Paul.
Alrighty.
Well, there's obviously nothing more frightening than seeing a funnel and a twister approach.
Mary Secchi joins us from the newsroom, and she visited tonight with many people who witnessed the tornado. Mary?
Well, Paul and Diana, we have some amazing pictures to show you from some very brave, maybe you might say foolhardy people. Our News 11 photo crew obviously did a great job taking pictures of the twisters, but some amateurs were also out, and here are the pictures they took. This was the scene from the Peterson home in Spring Lake Park. Mike Peterson was taking these home movies of the tornado just blocks away.
You can hear the roar. Sounds like a freight train.
As his family headed for the basement, you can hear them begging Mike to come down with them.
Really coming in across now.
Let's get in. Come on. Come right straight forward.
Wait a minute, Tiny. We're going to wait.
Come on. We got to get downstairs.
Not yet.
At one point, Sky 11 flew into Peterson's shot.
He's got to be dumber than we are. News 11, this is Gerald Mills and Mike Peterson on your spot reporters.
Then the funnel went back up. The Peterson house was spared. At about the same time, outside a Target store in Brooklyn Center, this was the scene as people stood outside to watch. These pictures were taken by a freelance camera crew.
One came down and went up, another one came down and they went up.
It was neat. It was fascinating, but I don't want to be in one. It's good enough for me to just sort of stand by and watch.
And I looked up and saw, like, a cone. The clouds were shaped like a cone, and then all the clouds around him were going around in circles, and the cone was getting bigger, and it was...
Pam Anderson was driving in Brooklyn Park when she looked up through her sunroof and saw a funnel cloud above her.
There was people putting on the brakes, pulling over, getting on the road, slowing down, speeding up. They didn't know what to do.
Dave Brevich was another person driving in Brooklyn Park when he saw the funnel, got out of his car, and he snapped some pictures of the tornado.
I was just a little pumped up, you know. I wasn't really scared, but yet I was cautious. And you know, they say it's supposed to go to the east, but it looked like it was following me up and down the road.
Luckily now, witnesses can laugh now that the danger is over. Paul and Diana, back to you.
Yeah, it really is amazing that it wasn't worse.
That's right. Very
fortunate.
thankful.
You bet. Thanks, Mary.
Thanks, Mary. Well, tornadoes are nothing new to us. We get an average of 17 of them every year in Minnesota alone. Most don't do any real damage, but like today's twisters, they can be nightmares. Kirsten Lindquist takes a look back at some of the worst.
The most recent and deadliest was 2 years ago in June in Barneveld, Wisconsin. 9 people were killed and the entire town was leveled. It was one of the worst storms to hit Wisconsin in the last 30 years. In April of that year, 1984, a killer tornado ripped through St. Anthony, leaving 1 person dead and injuring more than 50. The Apache Shopping Center was heavily damaged in that storm. And over the July 4th weekend in 1983 in the Twin Cities area, 2 people were killed and 36 people were sent to the hospital after a twister hit Champlin. 22 houses were destroyed, and so was the Champlin Shopping Center. One of the most memorable storms, though, of this decade produced a tornado that sliced through the Twin Cities in June of 1981. The path it cut ran from Edina in the south to Roseville in the north. The damage from that storm ran into the millions, but almost miraculously, no one was injured. Kirsten Lindquist, News 11.
Still coming up on News 11, the weather forecast following nature's nightmare.
And later, more on the sights and sounds of a frightening ordeal. This special edition of News 11 will continue in just a moment.
Many of the world's greatest taste treats are born right here. But really, you don't have to go this far to enjoy the fine foods that Italy has to offer. Actually, you'll find them all at the Buongiorno Italian Market in St. Paul. The finest olive oils, great pastas, vinegars, spices, and a grand variety of tomato products. In Delhi, Buongiorno offers you Italy's finest cheeses, prosciutto, capicola, and mortadella, along with our own Italian sausage and famous porchetta. What's more, Buongiorno makes up a wide variety of salads, soups, spaghetti sauces, and a number of pasta dinners. Too, Buongiorno offers a fine selection of Italian entrees, all handmade like lasagna, manicotti, cannelloni, and braciole. So remember, for the great taste of great Italian foods, stop in at the Buongiorno Italian Market. And if you've never been here before, call us at 224-1816 and we'll gladly help you with directions.
This is a full-size Chevy. That's a full-sized Ford. That Ford's got a 6. This Chevy is equipped with a V8. But did you know that Ford 6 is priced $147 more than this Chevy with a V8? So ask yourself, would you rather have the Ford or the Chevy? Simple. Unless you don't care about money.
Get 6.9 financing during Chevy's year-end clearance. Length of finance contract is limited.
If you want to taste a beer that's head and shoulders above the head and antlers, reach for Special Export.
This mouthwash is #1 in hospitals, with a powerful formula that kills germs that cause bad breath and germs that cause plaque buildup. With a refreshing non-medicine taste, this mouthwash is Cepacol.
Paul Douglas is out in the backyard right now. This is the first time he's been out in the backyard all day. You've been inside working your tail off.
Busy.
Must say, I'm happy to be out in the backyard at this hour, Paul and Diana. Today points out it's a perfect example of why weather forecasting is a profession for the brave and foolish. Tornadoes in Brooklyn Park and Fridley, a couple of miles down the road. The sun was out. It was in the 80s. People were sunbathing, wondering what all the fuss was about. You can get these incredible variations this time of year. It was a tricky situation. And again, I just thank the good Lord that it turned out the way it did. There is some weather to report. It's not going to be a half-bad weekend, but I would suggest taking an umbrella for the parade tomorrow. It could be wet. We had a high today of 92, a low of 78. No precipitation, at least down at the airport. Plenty of it over the northern sections of the metro. Partly cloudy now. The temperature is still 80 degrees at this hour. A southeast wind at 9 miles an hour. The dew point 73, the humidity 79, and the pressure 29, 91, and falling. Time to check Loop 11. You can see along this warm frontal boundary is where those huge thunderstorms mushroom. This is since breakfast time this morning. Huge thunderstorms, and these are the ones that did produce tornadoes over Brooklyn Park and Fridley. Still some heavy weather to our west across western Minnesota and the Dakotas, and this thundiferous weather is going to be with us through at least midday tomorrow, as it now looks. If you have your druthers, see if you can schedule your backyard bash for late tomorrow or tomorrow evening. This is Doppler. Since about 11 o'clock this morning, you can see the big scan, a few light showers during the morning hours, big stuff over western Minnesota. This is where the watch was in effect. And then late in the afternoon, some very heavy weather developed right over northeastern Hennepin County, right over Brooklyn Park. These were the storms that went on to produce a couple of tornadoes up in Barron County, Wisconsin. Now watch, over the past few hours, more thunderstorms have rumbled into extreme western Minnesota. Live Doppler picking up some heavy activity near Ortonville and Benson. More activity north of Alexandria and west of Brainerd. Nothing imminent or ominous near the cities yet. But after about 2 or 3 a.m., there could be more heavy thunderstorms. The threat of tornadoes has diminished, but some of these storms could still pack very heavy rain, lots of lightning, possibly even small hail as they continue eastbound. A severe storm watch in effect for southeastern South Dakota till 11. Another watch has been issued for much of Wisconsin till 4 a.m. Temperature still way up in the O zone. It is uncomfortable out there for sure. Say goodbye to the 90s. The winds which were blowing from the south today are going to shift around to the northwest by Sunday, allowing this cooler, drier, cleaner air to come south along the leading edge of this cool front. A pretty good chance of thunderstorms tomorrow. Sunday, definitely the nicer day of the weekend as it looks. Plenty of sun, a big drop in humidity. But again, take an umbrella tomorrow. Here is the 11 outlook for tonight. No watches or warnings close to home. Muggy, thunderstorms likely later tonight, some with heavy rain. Mid to upper 70s for lows. And then tomorrow, variable cloudiness. Not a great day. A few showers and thunderstorms. Take an umbrella for aquatennial events. 83 to 88. A couple of hours of rain possible, and some of it could be heavy, especially morning and midday tomorrow. Sunday, much nicer. Mostly sunny, 81. A big drop in humidity. Sunshine Monday and Tuesday. Temperatures rebounding into the low 80s. It frankly was not a classic textbook tornado situation, Paul and Diana, but it was so hot and it was so humid. Dew points were close to 80 this afternoon. The atmosphere just exploded right over northeastern Hennepin County. Where the air went up, it began to rotate, and at the vortex of that rotation is where that funnel developed. And I talked to somebody late this afternoon. Had that been slightly stronger, there was a good possibility that Max could have been sucked into the tornado circulation. It was on a scale from 1 to 5, about a 2. Had it been a little stronger, it could have been very disastrous for a lot of people. So, again, we were real lucky.
Yeah, knock on wood, everything turned out right. You're suggesting then an umbrella. We are in the parade tomorrow at 11 o'clock, the Aquatennial Parade. We should take one with us?
Take your thunderwear tomorrow. You won't need it Sunday.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Coming up next on News 11, some of the other headlines of tonight.
And our special edition of News 11 will come right back.
It's a funny thing, but when you're eating Edie's Grand Ice Cream, some extraordinary things happen. As a rule, there tend to be more butterflies. And 1 out of every 3 wishes wished upon a star comes true. Children take their parents out for a walk. More often than not, sundowns wait until people are safely home. And it takes an awfully good ice cream to do that. But then again, it's not just ice cream. It's Edie's Grand Ice Cream.
When it comes to preparing Italian pie, the Viola sisters agree on only one thing. It should have the finest Italian sausage. At Pizza Hut, we couldn't agree more. Introducing our newest Priazzo Italian pie. A blend of zesty Italian sausage, green peppers, onions, and cheeses. New Priazzo Portofino. We think it's delicious, and we believe that even the Viola sisters would agree.
From now until August 31st, a few smart shoppers are going to their Volkswagen dealers to get hot summer clearance deals on every new Volkswagen, on a wide selection of Jettas, Golfs, GTIs, and Quantums. But don't wait until August 31st. Hurry in for a test drive today, because we have a feeling you won't be alone.
Hey, this week we're really up in the air at Sun Valley Waterbeds because we're celebrating the grand opening of our newest showroom.
We're now open in Brooklyn Center with our biggest sale ever in all our showrooms. Complete waterbeds starting at only $109. The latest in sleep comfort, soft-sided beds, only $399. Plus make no down payment and no payment till October. And remember, all Sun Valley Waterbed mattresses come with a lifetime warranty. It's today, tonight, and tomorrow at all Sun Valley Waterbed showrooms. Now at Brooklyn Center at Shingle Creek Parkway at 694 next to Target.
Police are investigating 2 unrelated murders tonight in Minneapolis. Officers are on the scene of a murder on the 800 block of Thomas Avenue. The victim is a 67-year-old woman. Her name has not been released, and police won't say how she died. They are searching for a suspect. And in Waite Park, police are investigating the shooting death of 34-year-old Paul Dingman. He failed to show up for work today. Police are searching for Dingman's roommate to question him in connection with the murder.
The 18-year-old woman who claims she was gang raped by 3 former Gopher basketball players wrapped up her testimony today. Defense attorneys tried to chip away at the woman's credibility. Several other witnesses were also called today, including the alleged victim's roommate, who encouraged her to report the assault to police.
She felt very guilty about what happened, and that she felt like a piece of meat.
Because the jury is being sequestered, there will be a rare Saturday court session tomorrow.
The body of a drowning victim was found in Bush Lake just over an hour ago. Divers had been searching since yesterday for an 18-year-old boy who disappeared while swimming with friends. His identity has not been released. Ramsey County Judge Joseph Summers is being mourned tonight. Part of KTCA's Almanac program tonight paid special tribute to the former co-host. Earlier today, hundreds of friends and relatives attended Summers' funeral in St. Paul. He died of a heart attack earlier this week. He was 47.
Wisconsin missionary Brian Lawrence is free tonight after being kidnapped in the Philippines. Lawrence was released unharmed by his Muslim captors, and his parents in Madison say they're resting easy now.
Well, I felt very relieved and thankful that he was now released, and anxious to hear more as soon as more information was available, of course.
Lawrence's parents say Brian is reunited with his wife and will return to the United States. New pictures out tonight of the sunken Titanic show parts of the luxury liner lined with rusty icicles. The team from the Woods Hole Oceanographic Institute also found the crystal chandelier inside the ship.
Coming up, the Twins in Baltimore going for their first win since the All-Star break.
And it was a record day for Greg Norman at the British Open. Tom Ryder has the sports when we come right back.
What is this?
That is a shirt.
A shirt. No, this.
Oh, it's your ring around the collar. I should have stuck to Whisk.
I thought you always used Whisk.
Well, I had this coupon, so I tried something new. Never again. Whisk works better. See? No more ring around the collar.
Yeah, everything's clean. Gloria, I'm out of clean shirts again.
Well, luckily you have Whisk.
Can we talk about this?
Whisk gets ring around the collar and your whole wash clean.
Who's there helping Mom when she's up with the sun? Who helps her make lunch, great tasting and fun? Who's there when Mom's not to help us eat well? His first name is John, his last name's Morrell. And as a matter of fact, next to a dad, John Morrell is the best friend a Mom ever had. Who makes the lunch meat? Mom knows we'll all eat. You got it!
When you've got it, you've got it. And at Southtown Freeway Toyota, we've got over 175 new 1986 Toyotas. Save $500 to $2,000 on Tercels, Corollas, Celicas, Camrys, Supras, Cressidas, vans, and 2- and 4-wheel drive pickups. Save on our huge stock of used cars. We take pride in our people-oriented parts and service department. We also offer first bank financing. Come in and save and drive away in a Toyota. Southtown Freeway Toyota, located at 35W and 494 next to Ward's in Bloomington.
Wash and go with Perks. Got too much you're busy doing to fuss around with your shampooing. Keep your hair on the go with you. Wash and go with Perks. You want a shampoo works as hard as you. Wash and go with Perks.
Pert shampoo has a drop of conditioner, so you just wash and go with great hair and no fuss.
Wash and go with Perks.
Despite today's twisters, once the skies cleared, the festival events went on as planned. Tonight's main attraction was the Minneapolis Aquatennial Block Party on the Nicollet Mall. Folks were out and about enjoying the food at this annual summer celebration of the City of Lakes. The Aquatennial celebration lasts through the 27th.
Yeah, the block party's getting bigger every year.
Every year.
Twins tonight, you have something good to tell us.
As a matter, you know, Kirby Puckett's house is in that area by the golf course up in Brooklyn Park or whatever it is, and didn't sustain any damage, but he celebrated tonight by finding out his house was still standing. I'll tell you about that. The Twins in Baltimore looking for their first win since the All-Star break. It was an impressive win tonight. They won it 7-3. Blyleven didn't give up any home run balls. McGregor the loss, added in the 7th save. Highlights, the Twins started the long ball festival off early. Kirby Puckett, a leadoff home run, his 18th of the year, and that makes it 1-0. The next batter, Gary Gaetti, connects off Scott McGregor, his 19th of the year, 2-0. Gaetti had 4 hits tonight. The Twins led 5-3 in the 9th inning when Kirby Puckett again another home run. Number 19, that made it 7-3. That's the way it ended by a score of 7-3 at Baltimore. Let's go to the scoreboard now. Toronto leading California. Jack Morris of Detroit, also the native of St. Paul, he pitched his 3rd straight shutout tonight. Kansas City and Cleveland, they are tied in the 8th inning. The Yankees over the White Sox, Seattle over Boston, that game in the 2nd inning. And Oakland is leading Milwaukee in the early going. In the National League, the Cubs over San Francisco. Houston beat the Mets. Pittsburgh jumped all over San Diego. Cincinnati 6-5 over Philadelphia. Atlanta over Montreal in the 5th. And Los Angeles over the St. Louis Cardinals by a score of 4-3. Well, Australian Greg Norman is the 2nd-round leader in the British Open Golf Tournament. Norman fired a record-tying 63 today to put him at 3 under par for the tournament, 2 shots ahead of Britain's Gordon Brand. Norman started the day at 4 over par, but he improved on that in a hurry. Here he is with a birdie on the 14th hole. Norman had an eagle, 8 birdies, 3 bogeys. He had a 63, and he just missed an eagle putt there. And round 3 is coming up tomorrow in Scotland. The final moments in the life of basketball star Len Bias out of the University of Maryland apparently were horrifying. His acquaintance, Brian Tribble, who is also suspected of giving Bias the lethal dose of cocaine, called police, but also appeared to be spaced out.
What's your name? My name is Brian. Brian what? Tribble. Len Bias is real. You're giving him a mouthful off. You can hear it now. Len Bias. You have to get
As I said, Tribble is a suspect in that case. The North Stars have signed Czech defenseman František Musil. He and Lou Nanne have returned from Europe following the defection of the 21-year-old star. Kansas City Royals manager Dick Hauser will undergo surgery for a brain tumor next week. And believe it or not, there were 135 pick-six winners at Canterbury Downs today, splitting a pot of $234,000, and they each took away just about $1,500. Be a little disheartening to win the pick-six and think you're going to win all that money and come away with $1,500. What the heck?
That's not a bad break at all.
I'll take it. Man,
I don't know why you're griping about that. Coming up next, our News 11 Extra looks back on a rare side, both for the northern suburbs and television viewers.
That's next on this special edition of News 11.
The one big question when it comes to trucks is who? Who gives you a powerful 2.4-liter engine? Toyota. Who gives you more standard payload than any truck in its class? Toyota. Who gives you 3-across seating and who does it all at a great price? The 1986 Toyota Standard Bed is who? The #1 selling small truck in America. Who else? Nobody.
So how's the future, Doctor? And what I make? I might make medical school by the year 1999.
We'll work with you.
I don't think it'll take that long. And what, I got a rich uncle or something?
We'll do our best.
Nope. Just a good bank. Norwest came through.
We know the way. We are Norwest.
Did you know that Ramsey Hospital can take care of any medical problem? There's one place that can take care of whatever comes up.
Darlene.
St. Paul Ramsey Medical Center and Ramsey Clinic. The pros.
Toss it. McDonald's introduces a new taste with turkey and ham. New McDonald's Chef Salad.
Toss me a salad with turkey and ham.
New McDonald's Chef Salad.
Toss it for me fresh all day. This meal goes any place.
It's a good time for the great taste of McDonald's.
Tornadoes, no matter how large or small, can leave a very spectacular and frightening memory in the minds of the few people who see nature's nightmare firsthand. And earlier this evening, the sight of a tornado on live television from a helicopter is believed to have been a first. So on News 11 Extra, some of the sights and sounds of the severe storm that will be remembered many nights from now.
As you can see, there is the tornado. It is indeed on the ground. You can see debris being tossed up, and we want to go live to Max Mesmer.
Thousands of feet in the air. There are flash fires on all the high-tension wires. We're about 3/4 of a mile from the actual touchdown at this time. This is really spectacular.
Max, based on what you've seen, what do you estimate the damage to be in the Brooklyn Park area? I mean, obviously this is causing damage.
Another touchdown. I'm going to have to leave this area here. The debris is drifting my way here.
This looks like a much more dangerous tornado. This could easily go on for another 15, 20, maybe even 30 or 40 minutes. There you saw another high-tension wire being hit.
And ambulance crews are in the area and on the ground. They're there waiting just to see what injuries might develop. So far, we have no reports of injuries, but of course there may and could be some.
You can see that is unbelievable. Winds probably in excess of 200 miles an hour. Obviously, unless your house is tied down, it appears the tornado has actually slowed down almost to a creep.
I can hear you 5 by 5. Go right ahead.
All right, Max, the question I have for you, have any buildings been damaged at this point? What have you seen?
It is possible. However, I have not been able to go out west to check that out. Right now, the tornado is located over a wooded area, and it is tearing up trees, and it's ripping entire pine trees into the air, thousands of feet.
Helen, you're in the newsroom?
What we saw is we saw the clouds coming down from the sky. We saw the first one come down, then it went back up, and then we did see the one that did cause the damage in Brooklyn Center. and I believe this is the one right here.
People always say it sounded like a freight train coming at me. Did you hear any noise associated with this?
It was absolutely quiet, and there was very little wind here, and it was absolutely scary to see those trees flying. And I looked right at it through a break in our trees, and I thought it was coming right for the house.
It looks very dark and ominous, and there's a lot of lightning, but I don't see a touchdown at this time.
You see a funnel cloud at this point, Max?
No, I do not. I do not see a funnel cloud. There's lots of lightning, and it's very dark, but I do not see a funnel cloud anywhere at this time.
And finally tonight, to recap the latest on the tornado, about a dozen homes in the northern suburbs have been damaged by tonight's twisters, and hundreds of power customers are without power. NSP says it'll be working to restore power to all homes by tomorrow. And if anyone needs assistance tonight, you can call the Red Cross. That number again is 871-7676.
Well, the weather has been foremost on everyone's minds this afternoon. What can we look forward to again for tomorrow?
First off, I want to thank Max Mesmer one more time for helping us out this afternoon, and I want to thank everybody in the weather department for helping me out. It was a fly by the seat of the pants type operation, but I'm just grateful things worked out the way they did. We want to check Doppler one more time, show you some very heavy storms. Luckily not severe, but heavy. Some of these storms could produce downpours and vivid lightning and possibly even small hail. The heaviest activity right now from southwestern Stearns County to about Benson to Appleton to Ortonville. More heavy weather up around Park Rapids and Wadena. It's all moving east, and there could still be a heavy thunderstorm at your house later tonight. Showers likely tomorrow morning. Take an umbrella for the Grand Day Parade tomorrow. It should brighten up in the afternoon and clear out late in the day tomorrow. Sunday looks beautiful. Mostly sunny skies and a high of 81. Tom?
Paul, I'll tell you, I've been in the business a few years. I've never seen anything like today. Unbelievable, the coverage of that tornado and the shots from the helicopter. The Twins beat Baltimore 7-3. That's good news. The Twins in Baltimore tomorrow. The Babe Ruth State Baseball Tournament continues in St. Paul. And we'll see everybody at the Aquatennial Parade tomorrow. And happy birthday to my dad, age 75 this week.
Good for you, Tommy. And finally tonight, because of this special edition of News 11, Part 5 of Broken Arrows, Broken Dreams did not air. It will be seen tomorrow night on News 11 at 10.
Before we go, did Tom say he'd been in the business a few years?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I heard that too.
When he was a rookie, Walter Cronkite wasn't born. Well, you have a good weekend. We'll see you at the parade tomorrow if you're there.
Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, just enjoy your weekend.
Good night.